Hello, everyone. Welcome to our lesson 9, Standard 5 Mathematics, where we will start exploring division. So the first part is understanding what is division. So earlier during the class, many of you have given me terms, okay, or sentences regarding what you understood by division. Some of you said sharing equally, okay, was one of it. And then some of you said repeated subtraction, which is also correct. Okay, division is repeated subtraction. Division is also the opposite of multiplication. Okay, the opposite of multiplication or the reverse. Okay, and then of course, here you can also understand division as grouping. Okay, objects. Okay, grouping is also division. And guys, fraction is also division. So let's have a look at this module of yours. Okay, it starts with you needing to draw. Okay, to understand division as sharing equally. So divide 14 into two groups. Of course, you could do one by one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so on until you complete all 14. And you will realize that you will end up with 7 in a group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there are 7 in each group. Okay, so the division sentence here would be 14 divided by 2. Okay, 14 divided by 2 gives you 7. Got it? So you know this from your times table. You can remember this. You have memorized it. But you must know how to draw. Now, in the same way, divide 14 into groups of 2. Now, what does that mean? It means that groups of 2. So you have to draw a group and you put only 2 inside. You have to draw another group and put 2 inside. You've got to draw another group and put 2 inside. This is something like taking 14 and subtracting 2 every time. So subtract 2, subtract 2, subtract 2. So this is where you get the idea of repeated subtraction. So you draw until you are all out of your 14. So another 2, you have 10 now. Okay, 12, and then finally all 14 is done. So how many groups are there? There are 7 groups of 2. So 14 divided by 2 is 7. So you see, guys and girls, 14 divided by 2, 14 divided by 2 can be drawn in 2 ways. Either I can draw it as sharing equally into 2 groups, 14 divided into 2 equal groups, or 14 divide into groups of 2. I hope at this level, standard 5, you are able to differentiate already. These two things are very different. The drawing is different. Now, this comes from the basics of multiplication. Okay, so if I'm going to have some space here, let me show you how the multiplication will look like. Say, 2 times 5. Okay, your answer is 10. Am I right? So, but you also learn this as 2 groups of 5. So when I draw 2 groups, and I'll put 5 inside, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You see that? So this is how I draw 2 times 5 as 2 groups of 5. Answer 10. Now, if I said 5 times 2, my answer is also 10. Am I right? But instead of 2 groups, I'm going to have 5 groups. Do you see that? And every group will have 2 in it. See, the question is the same, but the drawing is different. So when you read a multiplication question, 5 times 2, it's 5 groups of 2. 2 times 5, it's 2 groups of 5. Please understand that, okay? Clear? Moving on. Same question, same exercise. Divide 18 into 3 equal groups. So put your 18 into 3 equal groups. You would get 6 in each group. Then write out your number sentence. Now divide 18 into groups of 3. It means one group I have 3. Another group 3. Another group 3. And you got to figure out how many groups do I need. until all my 18 is used up. So you'll notice that there are 6 groups of 3. So division sentence, 18 divided by 3, it's 6. Got it? Clear. So now, coming to the terms in division. Now, there are 3 terms you need to be familiar with: dividend, divisor, quotient. So if this is your number sentence, how will you write it out? You would say 18, or how do you read it out? Divided by 2 equals 9. This is how you read. 20 divided by 5 equals 4. Okay? So, let's get it back here again. Okay, so 18 divided by 2 equals 9. So your dividend is 18. Your divisor is 2. And your quotient, which is your answer, it's 9. So 20 divided by 5 equals 4. So your dividend is 20. Your divisor is 5. And your quotient is 4. Got it? So know your terms well. Okay, basic terms. Now, let's move on. Your first page. On your first page, you will find exercise in which you have to understand, learn that multiplication and division are inverse operations. Inverse means opposite. Okay, inverse, it's like an opposite thingy. So if I have, for example, let's look at number 1. 4 times 3 equals 12. This is a multiplication. Change it as a division. It means 12 divided by 4 equals 3. Okay? Or, okay, 12, you can divide by 3, answer will be 4. So you use back your quotient and you either divide by the dividend, you get your divisor. Or you divide by the divisor and you will get your dividend. All right, I'll repeat that. Let's try again. 5 times 2 equals 10. So 10 divided by 2 equals 5. Or, okay, and 10 divided by 5 equals 2. So this is what it means by inverse or reciprocal or opposite. Okay, you don't have to really remember the terms as long as you know how to do it. So then you will have quizzes. Okay, try attempting the quizzes. The quiz questions are all from here. So in your module, yes, you have to complete this as practice as well. And your assessment is done via quizzes. Okay. So moving on, okay, let's do one more question, okay, before I move on. Let's do number 15. So 6 times 7 is 42. It means, how do you write here? 42 divide by 6 equals 7. That's your division number sentence. And 42, again the quotient, you're using the quotient, guys. Divide by 7 equals 6. Okay, hope you guys understood here. Now let's move on to the second part. Now the second part here, it's actually just your basic facts of division. Okay, your basic facts. For example, 12 divided by 2, 6. Practice, 15 divided by 3, 5. Now you have over here in your module close to about 40 questions. So I give you a challenge of doing it within 2 minutes. So take your phone, put in your timer, and complete this within 2 minutes. Or rather, take your timer, set yourself up, and tell in how many seconds or minutes did you complete it. Write a note here. Keep it as that, okay? And during class earlier, okay, or during, you would also be given quizzes, okay, for your basic facts. This quiz is actually labeled as quiz 01, 02, 03, 04. There are 4 quizzes, which is actually times table 6, times table 7, times table 8, and times table 9. These are the first 4 quizzes that's related to the basic facts of division. Okay? Your job is to do it fast, do it accurately. Okay? Next would be this. dividing by multiples of 10. Now, what does it mean? So, look at number 1. We have 12 divided by 2 equals 6. Now, that 12 now becomes 120, which means I have actually times 10. 12 times 10, it's a multiple now. 120 divided by 2, the same dividend. No, sorry, divisor. And look at your answer. It's 60. In other words, the answer is pretty much 6, but a multiple of 10. You see that? So let's look at it this way. 12, when I add a 0 at the back, okay, automatically I have an added 0 in my answer. So let's say I have this question. 120 divided by 2. All I need to do is, I know that 12 divided by 2, I'm going to get 6. I just put my 0 at the back. Do you understand? Try solving it this way. 150 divided by 3. Of course, 15 divided by 3, it's 5. 150, it's a multiple of 15. It's times 10. Can you see? So your answer, provided divide by 3 remains the same, your answer also gets multiplied by 10. That's why you have 50. But you can also do it as 15 divided by 3, 5. And there's a 0 at the back. Put the 0 at the back. Again for the answer. Now look over this side. Now in this case, both the dividend and the divisor, which is these two numbers, have gone up in multiples of 10. They have also been multiplied by 10. In other words, 12 times 10 became 120. 2 times 10 also became now 20. So when you have such a situation, guys, cut the 0 from both numbers. And you are going to end up with the original question of 12 divided by 6. 12 divided by 2, answer 6. Another way to do this is to learn that fraction is the same as division. So 120 divided by 20, what you do is cut off the 0. Learn this skill, and then you would have your answer 6. Okay? So this is how you do this. Now let's do one more question before we move on. Let's do number 5. 14 divided by 2 is 7. Now 140 divided by 2. So take your 14 divided by 2, or what you do is immediately put the 0 first. Then work with the 14 divided by 2 and you will get 7. Now let's look at this question. It's a tricky one here. 10 divided by 5, it's 2. Now 100 divided by 5, don't just see 2 zeros and immediately go and put 2 zeros. No. Why? Because if you use these 2 zeros up, you're only going to left with 1 divided by 5, which is going to give you a fraction. So you can't do that. So you're going to need 10 to divide by 5. So 10 divided by 5, there's only 1 0 that goes on to your answer. So 10 divided by 5 is 2. So answer here, it's 20. Now over here, 100 divided by 50, cut off 1 0 from the dividend and the divisor. Sorry, dividend and divisor. Okay, so now you're left with 10 divided by 5 and your answer is 2. So this is how you do dividing in multiples. This practice is super important. Okay, so this is where your quiz comes in. Okay, so let me repeat. Quiz 1, 2, 3, 4 is on basic facts. Quiz 5 is on this, division and multiplication as opposites. Quiz 6 is on this, okay, dividing in multiples. So you'll have 2 quizzes here. That would be quiz 6 and quiz 7. Okay, there are 2 quizzes to test you on this part. And then finally, of course, this is not really finally, it's again more practice. So this one, all you need to do is, look here, 120 divided by 4. There's a 0 here, right? So put the 0. Okay, copy the 0 back to your answer, to your quotient. Now you just work with 12 divided by 4, answer 3. 480 divided by 8. Put your 0. Always your answer is going to have a 0 there. Now work with 48 divided by 8. You see that? And that's going to give you 6. Now, how about 500 divided by 50? So you see now, cut two zeros. When you see a zero in the dividend and the divisor, cut it off. You are left with 50 divided by 5, and that's 10. Got it? Here, 630 divided by 7. I've got no zeros to cut, so I copy my 0 into my answer, and I have 63 divided by 7, and that would be 9. So this is how you do this page, okay, on your module. Now, after doing this, you would be learning, you'd explore unknowns. Now, what is unknowns? Unknowns is this, something that you don't know. I can always put an alphabet to replace this unknown. This alphabet is known as an Anu, okay? It's known as an Anu. Anu means an unknown. So something divided by 2 gives me 4. So use the principles that you have learned earlier, the opposite principles of multiplication and division. So take 4, multiply by 2, and I'm going to get 8. You see that? Something divide by 10, it's 5. So this is maybe B, my unknown. So what is B? What is the value of B? B is equals to 5 times 10, and that's going to be 50. Okay? This is how you write it out. So you just have to write out 50 there. Okay? You just write 50 here. So what's the answer here? Something divide by 3. I got 6. So 6 times 3, answer back 18. Your dividend, your divisor, your quotient. Again, dividend, divisor, quotient. Now look over on the right, okay, and look at question number 21. 54 divide by something gives you 6. Now this question is very different from this. Number 1 and number 21 are two different questions. If you look at it, here the first number is missing, the dividend. The divisor is there, the quotient is there. Over here, the dividend is there, but the divisor is missing. Divide by something is missing, but the quotient is still there. So now how do I do this? Do I multiply or divide? You do a division. 54 divided by 6 will give you this answer. Why? You may ask why. Okay, let's go back to this question. Okay, let's see this. Can I tell you that 10 divided by 2 equals 5? You agree with this? Now, if I'm also going to rewrite this again as 10 divided by 5 equals to 2, you agree? So now, if I took away the 2 from here, okay, and I said, hey, find 10 divided by how much? I get 5. You are going to say 2, because you're going to take 10, okay, you are going to take this 10 and you're going to divide by 5, which you're going to do exactly this, 10 divided by 5, and you're going to get 2 as the answer. Do you see that? So this proves that 54 divided by something equals 6. That something must be 54 divided by 6. And that is 9. Got it? Now, this question, on the other hand, you're going to find the dividend is same like here. Something divided by 4 give me 8. So that something must be 8 times 4, 32. Must be something really big. Usually this number is the biggest number of all. You have something very big and you share it in 2. You share it into 10. You share it into 3. So question 23 on the other hand, it's just like question 21. 80 divided by 10 is, 80 divided by something, it's 10. So how do I find this something, this unknown? Take 80 divide by 10 and you're going to get here 8. So this would be your quiz 8. Okay, in the word wall quizzes set, this is going to be quiz 8. Of course, you do it on your module as well. Okay, and after that, okay, after this is going to be page 6. This is division by 2 digit and 1 digit. Okay. Now guys, a quick revision. This is actually standard 2, standard 3 work. Now 29 divide by 3. Your question you got to ask yourself is, how many 3's are there in 29? So if you know your times table well, okay, there's going to be 9 3's in 29. That gives you 27. So you can divide up to 27. And then you'll have 2 as your remainder. Do this simple 2-digit, okay, division. 2-digit means, here, 28 divide by 5. Now, a huge confusion or careless mistakes that you will always do is, how do you write? There's 2 ways of writing it. Your number sentence, and then this is called the standard written method. Writing it in this way, it's called the standard written method. Number sentence means like this. You write it as a sentence. 28, okay, I don't have a division button here, so I'm going to put a slash here, guys. Okay, divide by 5 equals how much? You see, some of you get confused and instead write 5 divide by 28. Which is correct? Which is correct? If I wanted to say this, 5 divide by 28, then my standard written must be 5 divide by 28. It would look like this. And you're going to start with decimal answer, 0 point something something will start. 28 divided by 5 looks like this. So this is a careless mistake. It's a gray area. Many students make this mistake. From number sentence, when they want to write in standard written method, you write it wrongly. You get confused. So that is why the 3 words, the dividend, the divisor, and the quotient is very important. So where is the dividend? Here. Where is the divisor? Here. Where is your quotient? Up. And how do we write that as a number sentence? 29 divide by 3 equals 9 remainder something something. Okay? That's how you understand. That's how you do. So this one, yes, do it. And then, of course, now it's 3-digit. Okay? An example of your 3-digit. Let's do, I will do question, say 5. Okay? So, first of all, ask yourself, how many 3's can go into 7? None. So, don't put anything. Leave it. How many 30 can go into 7? For that, you need to know your times table 7, guys. So, 7, 14, 21, 28, 35. So, I can't reach 35. I can only go up to 28. So, that's going to be 4 times. Then, 28 is written at the bottom to find the remainder. I have a balance of 2. Bring down then the 7. Okay, so now I have 27. And again, I can still use only 28. Oh, I can't use 28, darlings. We'll have to use 21. So that's going to be 3. Okay, and then you put your 21 at the bottom here. I'm going to go down a bit. No space. Okay, and you will get a remainder down there. So 27 minus 21. Okay, and you're going to get a remainder of 6 at the bottom. Okay, that's what's going to be down there. So this is how you do what we call as a long division. Okay, a long division. This is called the long division. This is also called the standard written method. So know these terms. Okay, how do I write this as a number sentence? It would be 456 divided by 9. That's how I write it. This is all the important things in this lesson that you should know, okay, and be able to do. Now, of course, then it goes on with 4 digits. 4 digits divide by a single digit with no remainders. It's easy because now you don't have any remainders. Let's try one question here. So let's do times table 5, okay? So ask yourself, how many 3 is there in 5? None. How many 32s? How many 5 can go into 32s? Literally, it can be 6 because times table 5. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So write your 30 at the bottom. And then you want to find the remainder. There's 2 remainder that cannot be divided. That's why you got to join it up with the next number here. Bring it down. So you have 21. Now 21 divided by 5, you're going to have 4. There can be 4 groups of 5 in 21. So you still have 20, which ends up in 20, and you still have a remainder of 1. Then bring down one more digit to complete the division. You have 15. 15 divided by 5, it's 3. And then 15, there is no remainder. You subtract and there is no remainder. So now, guys, there is an easy way to remember this in case you don't know. It's called, wait, hold on, if I'm not mistaken, DMSB. Okay, what is DMSB? Daddy, mommy, sister, brother. Okay, father, daddy, mommy, sister, brother. But it's not that. It's divide, multiply, subtract, and bring down. This is the 4 steps. You repeat this. You see, the first step you ask, 32 divided by 5. How many 5s in 32? So that's answer 6. Then where is the multiplication coming in? 6 times 5, and that's where you get your 30. And then where is the subtraction? Subtract. So 32 minus 30, it's 2. Then the bring down, the brother comes down. Then you repeat. 21 divide by 5. You see, the division comes back again. 4. Then 4 times 5. 20. Okay? 21 minus 20. 1, subtract, and then bring down. So repeating this process is what's going to be your long division. Now in my next lesson, I will teach you something called short division. Okay, so until then, this all has to be done before we can go on to short division. Okay, now this is your, I believe this is your 9th page. The 10th and the 11th page, well, you hold on. You don't have to do this, okay? You do up to page 9 and you complete 8 quizzes that I will send, or that will be sent in the WhatsApp after this. And some of it has been done during class, and you can also check your answers live. Now, how do I do these 9 pages? You don't do it everything one day. You spread it out over 3 days. Okay, so one day you only do 3 pages, and it won't even take you 5-10 minutes, but 10 minutes to finish up. Okay, some of it is they're really easy questions. So that's on our lesson for division. Okay, I hope you can understand, and then I'll see you next week. So don't do the word problems. So next week we'll start with short division and word problems. Okay, so thank you very much, guys.